Welcome to the Birth Lounge podcast, an empowering space for expecting and new parents to hear candid conversations with experts to learn how to craft their ideal birth. You've got scary questions that you want to stop Googling, and we've got evidence-based answers with data to back it all up. Hey y'all, and welcome back to another episode of the Birth Launch podcast. Today I am joined by Dahlia, Rizk, who is the founder of Buckle Me Baby Coats. You guys, this is another female-founded business, really close here in New England. She's in New Hampshire. I'm in Boston, so we're super close. We're next door neighbors, and I discovered her on Instagram. So if you're not following them on Instagram, we'll link all of their stuff in the show notes and also tell you about it at the end. But you guys are going to have your mind blown about these coats. So today we're talking about car seat safety, the things that you need to know about installing your car seat, the safety features that will keep your child the safest, and also how do you put your child in the car seat during the winter safely with their coat, yada, yada, all the things that parents need to know. Dahlia, welcome to the show, and thank you so much for joining me.
So much for inviting me. I'm so excited about getting this information out to parents. There's a lot people don't know, especially with new little ones.
There absolutely is. And it really, to me, is so surprising how much of it falls through the cracks. It's not really your OB or your postpartum nurse's job. The pediatrician doesn't really cover it for you. The communities, not all communities are going to host events of, free clinics or even paid clinics. So whose job is this? Where does it fall? Typically on the parents. And a lot of people just fail to realize that there's so much that goes into car seat safety. The place I'd love to start that I think a lot of people miss is that there's actually a lot of rules of installing your car seat. So your specific car seat manufacturer and your car manufacturer, they talk together and they determine what is the best practice with that car seat together. These are guidelines set up by both manufacturers. Tell us a little bit about that.
So a lot of parents think, hey, I went to the store, I picked up a car seat, I'm going to put it in my car and it looks like it's okay and they're good to go, but they don't recognize they don't have a good install. They're maybe not using the top tether if it's forward facing, it doesn't fit in their car seat properly, in their car properly, and they think it's just their imagination. So I often tell parents, like you said, consult your user manual for your car, consult the user manual for your car seat, but also visit a local child passenger safety tech. There's a lookup on the website online, and you could find one near you and they can walk you through it and take it step by step. So it's easy and your child is riding safely.
Our team is certified in that, and Dahlia is as well. So you guys can reach out to both of us as resources if you have questions. Your car seat should be installed. There are tethers, like Dahlia had mentioned. There are sometimes you use the car seat, the actual car vehicle seat belt that will go over the child's car seat, behind the child's car seat, sometimes in the car as well. And there are different ways that you can actually put your child in. You have the latch system. Sometimes you're going to use the actual car vehicle seat belt to be around the car seat. There's rules around using those, right, Dahlia?
Absolutely, you're 100% right. And to explain to parents, the latch system are those two tiny little hooks you'll find in the bottom of the seat. Plus there's one hook usually behind for forward facing, but new parents don't need to worry about that quite yet. So you could install using the latch system, or you can install using the seat belt, your car's regular seat belt, but you should never use both because they interfere with each other. It's one of those places where more is definitely not better. And those two little hooks at the bottom of the car, the seat of the car, the latch system has a weight limit of 65 pounds, and the 65 pounds is your child's weight plus your car seat weight. So you should always take a peek at your car seat, see how much it weighs, and see when you need to switch over from the latch to the seatbelt.
Yeah. So one of the other things that I learned too is backward facing car seats. We often think like, oh, once my child gets so big and their legs are kind of scrunched up, they must be uncomfortable. I was really surprised to learn that no, the rule doesn't really have anything to do with their legs, and that we would rather them just sit kind of crisscross applesauce with their legs folded up, and children just don't even notice. That was one of the things that kind of took me aback in the training.
Yeah, parents are often worried that their child is going to be unsafe, but let me show you something really quickly. Most car seat accidents, most car crashes are front facing car accidents. So the car accident is going to have the impact this way, right? Coming this way. And when that happens and you have a rear facing car seat, what takes the brunt of the force is the back of your child's car seat. So your child rides safely like they're in a cocoon, and it'll move up a little bit and it'll move back a little bit, but they are riding safely. And because their bones are made mostly out of cartilage at this age, it's stretchy, kind of like your ear or your nose. You want to keep them in that safe position. When they're forward facing, their shoulders and their hips take the brunt of it because the harness keeps them in. They're going to move this way. You don't want that. You want to keep them rear facing as long as possible. It's the safest position for your child.
Absolutely. Their car seats are designed to absorb that crash impact for the most part, you guys. And so that is why installing it is just super crucial to its safety and it being able to do its job, the integrity of the car seat. All right, Dahlia, step us through the chest clip. People always post pictures online about or showing chest clips that aren't correct. And it just, it makes me so sad and scared for people. The chest clip needs to be in a very specific place.
So the chest clip, it's designed as a pre-crash positioner. It's making your harness straps be right over the shoulders so that they don't slip out in a crash and it keeps them safe. You want the chest clip to be right at armpit level. So that way it keeps your straps nice and tight right here. And you also want your harness to be pulled snug enough that you can't pitch any of the fabric. If this chest clip is too low, this is going to slip out too wide. And if the chest clip is too high, it's just not comfortable on their chin. So it needs to be right at armpit level to be used safely in a car accident.
Okay, so this poses a problem with that we don't want to have too much room to pinch after we've pulled them tight in the winter, especially up here in New England. Now, I know all of our Southerner listeners or our listeners who maybe don't have snow, you guys are like, what does that mean? But up here, we wear big puffy jackets because it is so cold. Talk to us about the dangers that come with putting your child in a car seat in a big puffy jacket.
So in the wintertime, you're going to often see kids riding around something like this, but with a regular coat, a coat that opens in the middle. And they're going to have the harness over the coat, and they're going to feel like, oh, look, it's tight. And if you pinch, it looks like it's passing the pinch test. But when you pull all that coat fabric out, what you're going to find is that it leaves a solid 2 to 3 inches of space. Look, I could put my full hand underneath this harness, so much space. Definitely doesn't patch the pinch test because all that puffy fabric is bunching up along the shoulder seams and bunching up underneath the harness and also in the back. So you want to take coats off. You want to use a blanket, a light fleece jacket, or if you need a traditional style coat, but a coat designed for the car seat, that's what Buckle Me Baby Coats does because they open along the shoulder seams. So the harness is right on the chest and shoulders. And the panel is pulled aside so that you have no puffy coat in the way. Also, the back is thinner than the front. So you could actually get that same harness fit as if they're wearing no coat, but keeping the coat on because no one likes wrestling coats off of kids in the wintertime.
Exactly. And you guys, the problem is that the air inside that coat and the materials that it's made of, it compresses in a car crash, right? So when it has all the impact and the car seat actually does its job and it keeps your child where they're supposed to be, but it gives them extra pressure from that car crash, the material in that jacket is actually going to compress and it's going to create space for your child. Then it's dangerous to have space between them and their car seat for sure. Okay, so Dahlia, your jackets fix this issue. Tell us what you've done. And listeners, if you are just listening on the podcast, do know that this is on YouTube. So you can come and see a demonstration. You can come and see the pinch test that we just did and how Dahlia shows you exactly where to put the chest clip to keep your child safe.
So the way this coat is different than a regular coat is mostly because of these panels. Most cat coats don't have this tab here. So this shoulder seam splits. And it splits a little further back than a regular seam. It's splitting way back here. And you can't really see this very well on video, but the back is thinner than the front. Sure. So between the shoulder seam splitting, the back being thinner, and then it opening on the side, it gives the parents the ability to put their child in the car seat, pull that panel aside, and have that harness snug and tight right on their chest and shoulders with no coat fabric in the way. And, I thought of it when my daughter was little and the child passenger safety tech had told me, take coats off. And I was like, you've got to be kidding. It's freezing. She's uncooperative. How am I supposed to do this? And I remember being a really young mother sitting behind the the wheel of my car thinking, oh my God, I just can't do this, and feeling all that mom guilt and shame, like I'm letting my daughter ride unsafely. And I thought, these rules are stupid. And then I started driving and thought to myself, it's not the rules. The rules are right. The rules are, this is how you keep your child safer. The problem is the coat. The coat needs to be redesigned for the car seat. It's ridiculous that we need to take them off. So I'm on a mission, and I won't stop till all coats are designed for the car seats, how it should be.
I love that. And I'm behind you 100% of the way. I too won't stop until I see all of your coats in all the homes. So tell us about the coat a little bit more. It's safe to now put the top of the coat over the buckle. So your child is essentially coated up again.
So some kids are overheaters, some kids are buckle fiddlers, some kids run a little cold. If your child runs cold or likes to play with their buckles, I had one who used to like to wait till the highway, and I'd hear that dreaded little snap.
Oh,
You could
no.
just cover it up and it's out of sight, out of mind. I don't really recommend re-zipping the coat. It's an unnecessary extra step, but for parents whose kids really do take the whole car seat, like the whole harness off in the highway, then yeah, if you need to zipper, go ahead. But for most parents, laying it over the front is enough to keep them warm or to keep their hands away from the buckles. And if you have a overheater, you could also leave it rolled up to the side, and most kids will actually fall asleep and use it like a little pillow. Easy peasy.
Yeah, that's amazing. Okay, now tell us about the fabrics and stuff that you used for the coat. Any special design of that? Anything that parents need to know about the materials?
So the coat's made of a durable, water-resistant outer layer, so it can be used out in the snow. It's great for the snow. It's great for the car seat. Great for all different kinds of play. The inside is a nice, warm polar fleece. It's so super soft, so soft, and it's made out of 100% polyester because it has a low flammability rate. So if there's a problem with fire or anything like that, this has a super, super low flammability rate. It just extinguishes itself really quickly. So no danger from fire, no danger from crashes. We tried to think of everything.
It's so weird to think about safety in terms of clothing, right? I know this is new for a lot of people to think about, like, well, is my coat safe? But you guys, this is actually really, really important. Oh my gosh, I am blown away. Okay. I want to tell everybody that if you haven't seen Dahlia's episode of Shark Tank, go and check it out. She was featured. This is actually, that's what prompted me to bring her on here. So again, I had followed her on Instagram. I knew that she was a local business, but her Shark Tank episode, I was like, oh my goodness, I need to have her on. I've got to tell more people about this, because I do think, again, that this is just a place where it falls through the cracks because it doesn't fall under anyone's responsibility umbrella. And so parents really miss out on really crucial information to their child's safety. All right, Dahlia, wrapping up. This was amazing. Where can people connect with you online and buy your coats? I know so many people are like, I need to have this. The safety matters, and I've never thought about this. How can they get their hands on your coat?
My coats are sold through Amazon, Bye Bye Baby, a bunch of specialty retailers, and my website, bucklemecoats.com. And you can follow my journey through the craziness of parenting and car seat safety information at Buckle Me Baby Coats on Instagram, TikTok. I'm on TikTok, Facebook, you name it, you'll probably find me.
The wild, wild world of TikTok. All right, you guys.
Wild world of TikTok.
It is crazy. Thank you so much for joining us this week for another episode of the Birth Lounge podcast. If you're tuning in on the podcast, like I say, please check us out on YouTube. You'll see a lot of demonstrations there. And if you are watching us on YouTube, check us out on the podcast for the entire episode. Until then, I'll see you next time. Bye, y'all. Thanks for joining us. I'll see you next time on the Birth Lounge podcast. Until then, head over to Instagram and find us at Tranquility by Hee and give us a follow. You can also check us out at thebirthlounge.com.